All right, hey everyone. Thanks for being here at USA Crypto Group for this AMA session. We are very excited to have CrowdSwap joining us today to discuss their ecosystem. CrowdSwap is an efficient and simplified platform for all your DeFi needs. So with that being said, I'd like to welcome Christian and Manu from the team. Hey guys, pleasure to have you here. If you can start out introducing yourself, talking about your team, and giving us some insights into your background experience.
Yeah, sure. I'm Christian. I'm CEO and co-founder of CrowdSwap. And CrowdSwap started in 2020. I'm into this space from 2016 after being software developer and CEO for many other companies, and still then enjoying the ride on cryptos. And very happy to be in this AMA to talk to you in depth about CrowdSwap.
Amazing. So I'll continue. So first of all, guys, thank you so much again for voting us as your favorite AMA, so we can do our favorite partner, so we can do the AMA today. We're super happy, and also thank you for inviting us. Yeah, I'm Manu. I don't have a development background as Christian, but I don't need it because I only need to talk. My job is more on the sales and project development side of CrowdSwap, and together with the team, we are basically stretching our fingers into every corner of the crypto realm to build the ecosystem, which we will hear about in a couple of seconds, because CrowdSwap is, for us, it's an ever-evolving endeavor. And yeah, my job is more or less to do the business development, to do the sales contacts, to really expand CrowdSwap beyond.
Awesome. Thanks for the introduction there, Manuel and Christian. Hey, sales is everything, so you don't have to really build, right? You don't have to be the technical developer. And so I think it's a good balance. Every business, I would say, every business, you got to know sales. Every single business out there, one way or the other, you have to know sales, right? It relate to sales one way or the other. So sales is
Yeah,
crucial.
but yeah, you're right, Ciel. But it was a hell of a ride for me. So like when Christian and I first met, like I was a complete greenie, and I think now I know a little bit more. I mean, Christian is the guru for us, but still, you learn so much in crypto, and it's like a 90% steep slide upwards, where you learn by doing, and you get so much into the topic. But you're right, sales and marketing, I think in this space is super important, because it's all about connecting projects, getting to go to the good parts of it, because there is so much intransparency in that space. There is so much fraud, so much scam. So you really need to also figure out who are the partners for you, for your project, that actually bring you forward in that space.
Exactly. You got to have the balance, the technical side and the sales side as well, right? All right. So now that you guys project is live, so I'm gonna just ask you guys a few basic questions just to get it out of the way really quick. When was it launched?
So it was launched in 2021 in February, after spending 1 year of finalizing the idea, looking into problems mainly on the Ethereum chain at that time. And while we were digging into high transaction fees, we found so much more, like non-transparent decentralized exchanges, and usability was and is still sometimes not very enjoyable. And that's where we found the vision of CrowdSwap to really make it easier in the DeFi space or in the Web3 space for everybody to do like normal transactions, because we strongly believe in the decentralized world and financial sector for the future, and it will be common for everybody to do transactions there. But not on this level. So that's when we decided to build CrowdSwap, and it was officially launched in February 21.
I see. Okay. So my next question would be, are there any vested tokens left that my community should know about? Whether that's from the team, whether that's from influencers. I'm assuming it's been 3 years now, so there shouldn't be any vesting token left, right?
Yeah, that's true. So definitely we had investors who and the team who had like a 2-year vesting period when they got their last token. So there are no more tokens vested. At the moment, all tokens are in circulating supply or at the team's wallets, which will be, and this is the plan for the future, will be turned into treasury once we turn CrowdSwap into a DAO.
Awesome, awesome. Okay. All right, so now that's out of the way. I encourage everyone to go ahead and go to CoinMarketCap. The symbol is Crowd, CROWD. You can look it up there on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. You can check them out there. I think the market cap is around 2-something million. But also, if you guys like, you guys can go ahead and open up the website. It's a very, very nice put together website. And your core business model is pretty much to provide a simple and efficient ways for investors to capitalize on monetary opportunities, correct? That's pretty much the core of your business, right?
Yeah, that's right. But at the same time, to dig into the DeFi protocols and to find out what's not really working properly. And whenever we find a possibility to provide better prices, to have faster cross-chain transfers, to be more secure or to be easier, we will dig into this issue and provide a better solution. It's not only about being simple, but also being competitive. And I think this question will also arise. CrowdSwap, we are saying CrowdSwap is the next generation of decentralized exchange, but we are not a standard decentralized exchange. So we are not putting together many liquidity pools for other projects. We are more like combining all liquidity pools from all sources and all chains that we provide with our mechanism of doing things in DeFi and making them easier, but still being competitive.
Maybe I can add to this a little bit from actually where do we come from? So Christian mentioned in the beginning that we started as a swap basically, but of course there are a lot of swaps and the topic of transparency is also growing more and more. So you get more transparency in the space, which is super important for us. It's still a very, very important core value for CrowdSwap, but we also realized that the core product cannot just be a swap. So we said, let's do something more. Let's do the extra mile and build that cross-chain algorithm. And that cross-chain algorithm that we have is basically bridging any token to any token. But it's not only bridging that you can do, but every product that we have. So be it investing into a liquidity pool, be it staking, be it yield farming, be it even investing into a launch, because we also have a launch pad. Everything that you can do on CrowdSwap, you can do cross-chain from any token to any token of the supported blockchains. So let me give you a quick example. So let's say we have a project that is currently on our launchpad, and that project is launching on Ethereum, but you only have BNB in your BSC wallet. You could still invest into that Ethereum project by the click of one button. And that's basically the idea of CrowdSwap, simplifying and removing the tedious work of the user. And I think everybody here in the call is super experienced probably, but there are a lot of people that are not that deep in DeFi. And for them, it's super difficult to bridge tokens. And if you ever did that, you know that you probably need to take your Ethereum, swap them to USDT, then you need to bridge that USDT to another chain, then you need to swap into another currency, and only then you can invest. And for CrowdSwap, this was the perfect moment to say, hey, this is really, really annoying work. And as a user, you will be never so fast as a machine can do. So we said we take all these transactions that I just described and we put it into one click, and that's what it does for the user. And on that base, we basically build all the rest of the ecosystem, and that's also why it's so valued by the community and also by the entire space, because it's a super fast and cheap way in a way which you cannot achieve on your own. To put it in a nutshell.
And Manu, you're totally right, but I just wanted to add, even for experienced users like we all are, it's saving a lot of time, and I think time is invaluable. Once you get older, you feel it even more. And this is another point that you cannot leave out. It's not only to be easier, but also saving you time. Because with CrowdSwap, you can rely on getting the best prices. You don't have to find the best bridge or the bridge that actually works if you are new to a chain. CrowdSwap does this for you. And I think this is already a very old feature. I think more than 1 year ago, when we had this one-click cross-chain investment processes into yield farms from a different chain, which is it's still not seen very often in many protocols. And we are not only proud of this, but this is something that we need to reach our vision, which is crucial for CrowdSwap.
I love it. I love it. I think both you guys are correct. I want to touch on what Manu said there. Having been in the space for 8 years now, long time. And as we know, there's new chain coming out every single day. And what's really suck about is that every single chain has its own bridge. Like I literally have like 5 different websites just to bridge from one token to the other, depending on the chain that I'm using, right? And it's a big hassle. Not only that, but the time you have to wait there forever, right? So what you guys are saying that you guys are pretty much a one platform that it does all that literally. So you guys, it's like an aggregator, correct? And you guys can able to bridge pretty much to any chain. Now, I don't want to go ahead and touch on this right now. We'll go in depth right now because I know that you guys have a big ecosystem, and I want to go in depth to in depth on every single one of them feature that you guys have, because I think what you guys have here is actually very special. So where do you want to start first? Should we just continue on the bridge first? Because I know that you have this, the portfolio, you have the swap, and you have the classic swap, you have the exchange, you have the ETF, you have your wallet. So your ecosystem is pretty massive. This all evolves on finding opportunities for investors to capitalize on the cheapest way, but also the most efficient way as well. Where would you guys like to start with?
I think it would be good to start with the cross-chain aggregator part,
Okay.
because it's like a core functionality on which also the other tools that you mentioned or other sections and products just are built on top. So definitely cross-chain aggregation, and also maybe what we will do differently regarding cross-chain in the very near future.
Okay, sounds good. So let's start out. What is a cross-chain aggregation? What is that, and how is that efficient compared to what we have on the market today?
So when it just comes to bridges, you can bridge like Ethereum from one chain to another, or stablecoin from one chain to another. When it comes to a cross-chain aggregator, or what Manu said, like an any-to-any cross-chain swap, you can simply take any token from the source chain and swap it into any token on the destination chain. And in between, we are utilizing all liquidity pools from source and destination chain, compare them in real almost in real time, or let's say in block time, to get the best route for your transaction, or for your source and destination token. And after that, we lay out this route, and then you can transfer your ETH into, let's say, Matic on Polygon or ARP directly at the best rates. And that's the combination of a cross-chain aggregator.
So just to kind of emphasize that further, when you say an aggregator, that's also meaning a swap, correct? Just so everybody understands. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's including the swap. Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like this, guys. So if you guys are very familiar with, let's say, Uniswap or even PancakeSwap, right? Now you can only, with those exchanges, you can only swap within that chain. So what CrowdSwap is doing is that you can literally using swap BNB to a different chain using their swap. And what an aggregator is that pretty much it crawls around, it finds the best rate for you, and it swaps cross chain. So you have everything pretty much under one roof. Is that a pretty good explanation there?
And that's a pretty good explanation, yes.
Okay, so it's very efficient. So I love that, actually. You know, I really love that. Now, you know, to be clear, I do use 1 inch at times as well. I do use them a lot. Now, is that pretty similar to what 1 inch? Now, is there any, I guess, features that differentiate you guys from 1 inch?
There are some differences when it comes to technicals. I don't know if we want to dig into this, but of course we did our own algorithm and analyzing liquidity pools, finding the best routes, which is not open source. So it's definitely something that we want to keep with us. They have a different approach, but it's if we are only talking about cross-chain aggregation, 1 inch is one of our competitors, yes.
And they're massive, so that's, you know, that's good. All
But
right,
that's also
so
just wanted to add there. Yes, they are massive, but they are really specialized, and I think that's the beauty for us being more on the search of where we can go into niche and give an additional value to the investors. That's also why we are constantly developing. And I think what you now discussed is more the fundamental layer of CrowdSwap, which is super important for us to build on that all the additional features that we have. And that's also just as one info, because for me this is always striking when I compare a little bit. We have more than 15 in-house developers, and that's a huge number for a decentralized project such as CrowdSwap in that space, which is already telling you how much value we put on creating opportunities to win for the investors that really make a difference. Just as an additional thought.
Awesome,
and
thank you.
And I also,
you have other features as well on your platform that makes you guys very unique. Not only, and we will touch on those features as well, but I definitely see other things on there that differentiate you guys. Not necessarily within the CrowdSwap, like you said, you guys are not open source, and maybe some things you don't want to discuss. But I definitely see other things on there that differentiate you guys within your whole ecosystem itself.
I just wanted to add maybe to the cross-chain vision that we have. So usually, when it comes to cross-chain transfers, it's a bridge approach, or it's a burn and mint approach where you have tokens, token permission to mint and burn on every chain. But it always comes with liquidity being stored in liquidity pools, or let's say in smart contracts. And some of those protocols have over millions of TVL in their smart contracts, which is a security risk and can be exploited and has been exploited in the past. So what we are working on is a combination of our cross-chain solution with our smart wallet called CrowdWallet, which will enable also liquidity sharing across chains, but without putting your liquidity into smart contract. It just stays in your smart wallet, and you give the permission to the protocol to utilize your liquidity from this wallet and being transferred across the network to different chains that, of course, you can allow or you can deny. So you have full control, and the liquidity does not even leave your wallet, which is definitely something else that differentiates us soon from other cross-chain aggregators.
Oh wow, wow, yeah, that is actually very interesting. Yeah, because we hear stories about hacking, right? And people tap into the LP and drain the whole LP. So this is actually a very unique approach. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, that definitely differentiate you guys for sure there. And when can we expect that? You think is that on the way? Under development?
Its development started already. I think we will have an early version in Q3, so it's just the next quarter. And then we will start with some chains, like a bootstrapping approach. And if we have a good feeling, then we will integrate all of the chains into or this solution into all of the supported chains. And even
Wow.
more in the future, because it opens up an easier integration for new chains for us, which is also something that we see that it's like a time to market. It's like integrating new chains whenever they pop up, and attracting new investors is the best time to be around, and that's definitely where we want to speed up integration of new chains.
That was good. So for those that are listening right now, guys, if you guys go to app.crowdswap.org, you can check out this swap right now. So currently right now, I'm looking at right now, there's zero fee right now on the swap right now, currently limited time. So I'm not sure how long that goes to, but if you want to test out this swap, it's actually pretty cool. So if you guys never bridge to like a one chain to the other chain right now, if you click on just kind of like Pancake Swap or Uniswap, you click on top, you pick a chain, whatever you want. Then the bottom, you can also pick another chain that you want to your money to transfer to. So it's actually very convenient. Now, I'm not seeing it on here yet, but as we know right now, like Soul and Base, you guys have on those on there yet? Is that on the way?
It's on the way.
Okay.
One of those you mentioned, we already integrated it from the development side. But since this new feature is such an important step for us, we were just postponing the integration of this chain, but it will come very soon after the release in Q3.
Okay,
I
awesome.
think what you need to understand here is that we are testing a lot, especially. I mean, maybe you already saw it, but we are doing a lot of things, but we are only putting them out once we are satisfied with the quality ourselves. That's why sometimes we say, okay, let's better delay it before we put out something that is not ready for the market yet. So there is a back office that also us sales guys and business development guys are regularly tasked by Christian. Hey guys, test it now and go for it and check it out. Sometimes we end up doing nothing but testing. But I think this is exactly the mentality that is needed in that way when you put out a lot of new products and a lot of new opportunities, because then it's all hands on deck. And that's basically also how we live at CrowdSwap, a little bit like a small family. And when there is a new thing to sell or a new thing to market, everybody is basically on the same side of the table.
Definitely understand. All right, so I think that's pretty straightforward. So you guys swap is also an aggregator, and you could do cross-chain swapping as well, which is very convenient and efficient, right? Because as we all know, you use like 4 or 5 different websites just to bridge one thing to the other. Now, as far as the timing go, you guys can also, is that something that you guys, your platform, your aggregator will look into like the most efficient as far as the timing goes as well? Because sometimes I gotta say, when I bridge a token to the different chain, man, I gotta wait sometime forever. Um, is that something that you guys also
Yeah.
have in
So
mind and mindful of it as well?
So we have two aspects. I probably start, and Christian, I saw you unmuting, so you can add all the details. But basically, we have two features that are added to this. So the one is called a best price routing. So our algorithm searches for the best route that is currently available, because you can also imagine if you do it manually, you would go probably to a DEX you know very well, or to a centralized exchange you know very well. You swap there, then you need to send it somewhere else, another place that you know or that you heard of, etc., etc. And for us, this is done by the machine, by comparing different prices, and then we go for the best route. And this is all done within seconds, milliseconds actually. And the second one, and it's basically intertwined, those two, is called a fast lane transaction. So it's also looking for the fastest way to complete the transaction. And that ties back into what Christian said earlier. In this area, in this space, it's all about speed, because we know how fast values of tokens, of coins can change. Sometimes it's just a matter of seconds, and if you want to get in, you want to get in fast. And so these two are super important for any transaction that we do, be the swap or be the cross-chain transaction. It's the same methodology in the background. But Christian, please add where you see fit.
Everything was correct what you said. I just wanted to, let's say, talk about the security aspects, and maybe also what are the challenges when it comes to cross-chain transfers. So first of all, if you do a cross-chain transfer, you have to get a consensus of the whole process. So I don't know if everybody here is familiar with this consensus mechanism, but it's like a voting. So let's say out of 11 people, at least the majority or the quorum has to vote for the transaction, for the cross-chain transaction to be legit and valid. And in some cases, when the network is really congested, we cannot speed up time anymore. But there are still some centralized exchange and also bridges that are waiting for block confirmations, like 250 on Polygon. That takes like 10 minutes. And this from our solution, and also from many other solutions who are more into peer-to-peer cross-chain transfer, they are not necessary anymore. But there are different challenges as well. That fast execution is important, because let's say if you have like 3 minutes, or it could even be 20 seconds, in volatile situations and volatile markets, prices can change very rapidly. So what we are also looking in, it's not included or integrated at the moment, but what we are thinking of is like guaranteeing a price that when you hit the execute button, to be steady and to be like final, which is not the case at the moment. And if your cross-chain swap takes like 3 minutes, the price on the destination chain could already be something else. So it might not execute anymore. And then you have some assets on the destination chain that you still need to swap into the final token that you wanted. So we are trying to speed up this cross-chain process as much as possible to provide, let's say, better usability and also finality when it comes to deals. Because as I said, a deal might already be gone in 3 minutes, just waiting for the cross-chain transfer to happen.
Got it. Got it. Okay, sounds great. Now I do see a classic swap. Now, what is the difference there? Because what we're talking about right now is the aggregator, which is the exchange, and I'm sure that the classic swap also has some sort of relationship to the exchange, correct? And could we elaborate on
So
that?
yeah, so the classic swap was the swap that we started with. It's different in this that back then we wanted to stress more on transparency, providing all the cost of ownership of a new token, which was not a thing back then. You only saw like, okay, you got these amounts of tokens. Sometimes you didn't even get the amount in dollars or something that you could easily compare with what you were putting into the swap. And the classic swap compares liquidity pools and DEXs, and you get a list of the ranking. So if you want to really see who's a little bit cheaper than others, then you could use this classic swap. But we are not developing it anymore. We are fully focusing on the exchange, which is from our point of view easier to use and guarantees the better results. So this is more like a, how do you say, nostalgic in some case, even though it's just 1.5 years old.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. Yeah, I mean, it could be just it's just there to be a reminder of where you guys came from, right? You guys have upgraded to better
Yes,
things.
yes, somehow yes. It's like showing old cars in, I don't know, in a museum.
Right?
Sometimes somehow it feels like that, but the next overhaul might even delete this section once our new solution is fully into place.
Yeah, even the name, I think says it all. Classic, right? Like you said, classic cars, classic swap, represent
Yeah,
the old age
exactly.
of it, right?
It's like the history section of your website. When you click on the Coke website, you can go to where do we come from. That's basically it. So it's fully functional, but it's yeah. That's also what I mentioned in the beginning. There is way more efficiency for investors, way more other opportunities in the other products, and that's also why we focus there, because that space it's changing so fast. So for example, we started the ETF topic because we are one of the first to offer a decentralized ETF. It's something completely new. It's something that is very hyped at the time, going into crypto ETFs. So we said, hey, we should offer again a one-click opportunity for investing in a set of tokens, in a set of coins in that case. And that's more the way that we are thinking right now, into these directions. Where can we really go into the trend topics, but also there where the investor is really looking for an upside.
Talking about that, let's go in depth on that, Manu. Yeah, let's go in depth on that. So ETF, right? Exchange traded fund. That's what it stands for. If you guys never heard the terms. So what it is pretty much it's a basket of baskets of securities to help the volatility of your investment in a sense, right? So instead of like investing into one coin or two coins separately, this is a basket with a bunch of securities that they put together. Now let's talk about that. Let's talk about the ETF. Now let's talk about the risk level. How do you guys determine the baskets of this ETF that you guys are doing?
Very, very good question. So basically, when you do something like that, the first thing that you want to do again is to take out the tediousness of investing for a person or for an investor themselves, because we are bundling funds together in one single investment, as you mentioned. So for us, we started with an ETF we call the Bull Run ETF. It's based on the Binance Smart Chain. Why did we do Binance Smart Chain? Because that way it's the cheapest, the cheapest gas fee that you can get. But at the same time, having the most of the big chains that are currently available. So what we have in that Bull Run ETF is Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Matic. We have Links, we have Avalanche, and we have more. And the thing that the idea was really to give again an easy access to a bunch of investment opportunities by one click of a button. How do we determine what is in there? So basically, there are several factors from risk mitigation, from SWOT analysis running in the background, from TVLs, etc. And ultimately, it also comes down a little bit to what our communities are looking for, because as Christian already mentioned in the beginning, our big aim is to become a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, where also the community has a lot of saying. So that is also why we are not only having that Bull Run ETF. Christian, maybe stop me if I should not tell that here, but we are already thinking about the next ETFs that we want to put out. We had a poll running in our community. What investment interest there is. So is it more into the AI section? Is it more towards another topic? And with any ETF that we do, with any basket of investment, we always do the same scrutiny and due diligence to really understand, okay, what is a safe or relatively safe project? Because in crypto, you're never safe. I also have to say that, but you all know that. So what is a relatively safe project, and at the same time giving the maximum uplift that you can get? So what you probably will never see is something that has just been released and is only at the brink of understanding if it's going to survive or not. But what you rather see more is sophisticated projects in a certain trend topic or in a certain area. But again, Christian, please fill in here.
Okay, let me fill in something. At CrowdSwap, we are looking into problems, and also we have a great support team. We have a good and very active community who is also sharing feedback. And most of the time, people are asking me, how do you see the future of crypto and DeFi? And I'm always saying, no, I'm not your financial advisor. Do your own research. But it's complicated for many people who are new in the business. So this ETF is all about what Manu said, and I think most important is that if you get immediate diversification, and the risk factor is so much lower. And as Manu said, we are thinking about adding new ETFs. And I want to add that in traditional finance, you have actively managed ETFs and also passive ones. Ours are passive, but some users already asked if it would be possible to have a personalized ETF that you can put together and don't have the hassle to go to every chain, bridge funds, but to buy it just with one click, as you can do right now with the Bull Run ETF. And I think if we have finished all our core developments, then this could be something that we will offer to our VIP clients or users, our crowd users, which is definitely possible, that everybody could build their own ETFs. And even, or let's say, and the technical part of this ETF is a financial NFT that could also be used in the future on lending and borrowing platforms, just as collateral, like stable coins or volatile coins. And it's very easy if you want to do a present for somebody, you can just
Looks like you got cut off there, Christian.
Yeah, Christian, we cannot hear you anymore. Maybe I just finish his sentence then, because what he wanted to say is that basically in the future it could be possible that you then gift somebody else with that NFT. So basically, your investment is stored in an NFT, and that NFT is of course transferable. So you could basically invest for another person, and then for their birthday, telling them, "Hey, guy, this is my birthday gift for you. It's an NFT ETF basket." Yeah, so that could be one aspect of looking at it.
I think that's actually a great idea. I think it's actually a brilliant idea, actually. As a gift, right? Imagine
Yes, it's quite nice. Give me
Yeah.
1 second, because Christian is just texting me because I think he was thrown out. So technical limitations.
Interesting. Telegram.
Okay, sorry. He's
no,
back. He's back. So maybe you can unmute him again.
Christian, if you hear me, raise your hand so I can see you. So it goes all the way on top. We have 150 people listening right now. So
actually, that's amazing. So, but on that chance, thanks guys for listening. It's really appreciated to have you all here. And looking at the questions in the chat already, some people did their homework. Impressive. Christian raised his hand, he said.
Oh man, how come I can't see it? Which is really weird. Can you see him?
No, I can also not see him. So maybe Christian, similar like with me, you need to go out and in again and then raise again. For me, that worked. I can send you his handle if that helps.
I don't think that helps. I have to be able to see him to unmute him.
All right. We'll manage.
But yeah, no, I think that ETF, the NFT as an ETF, I think that is a brilliant idea. Imagine if there he is. I see him there. But imagine if you actually, got gifted as an NFT, and within that NFT, let's say a bunch of meme tokens, for example, very high risk, right? Because mostly people want to give something, they probably won't spend like thousands and thousands of dollars, but even if they spend like $100 in a bunch of crazy meme coins, and if that shoots up like 100x, right? I think that's a brilliant idea. I think that's going to be fun. Now, my next question for you is that, like, I'm looking at right now as your ETF right now is all blue chip, right? You have BTC, you have ETH, you have BNB. So these guys are like top 10, right? Top 15 coins only.
Yes.
Very low risk, right? Basket. My question is that, would you guys able to implement like a basket, an ETF basket of very high risk, such as meme coins? Is that possible for you guys to do?
So the one question is it possible from a technical perspective? Well, yes, it is. The other question is it possible with the values of CrowdSwap? Well, that depends, I would say, because for us, one of the core values is yes, easiness, but on the other hand side, also easiness comes with a certain obligation of being secure. And I think Christian mentioned it very well, that security is a very, very high concern. for CrowdSwap in everything that we do. So we secure the chains where we're going. We are securing our cross-chain process. We want the transparency for the classic swaps and so on and so on. So one of the aspects when it comes to high risk, high gains is that we want to have a certain kind of due diligence for the projects that we put into such an ETF basket. So I'm not saying no, but I'm saying if we do, we will carefully evaluate it because otherwise we will probably be faced with that discussion that Christian also raised in the beginning. We are not giving any financial advice. We are just trying to hear our community and hearing the investors overall in the market, and then enabling them to have a tool that makes it easier for them to diversify and to be more secure. Now, of course, that could mean that we miss the 100kx next paper token. Could be, but on the other hand side, you know it probably very well, Cial, from your own experience. This 100kx paper token is 1 in a million, and then you have so many other tokens that are jumping like mushrooms out of the floor, and a lot of them are scam. A lot of them are, well, maybe not scam, but they are not sophisticated enough. They don't have the financial support. So there is a lot of things that you need to consider when doing that. And that's why I said we always try to, not give advice, but already take out again the topic of screening everything to be able to give a little bit of more assurance, I'm saying. But still, people, I'm saying assurance, but it's never 100% safe in crypto. Never, ever. You will not get that unless there is more regulation coming in, but that's another topic. But in general, I hope this answers your question. So it could be possible technically, and we are currently looking into what our community is interested in. So if that is also something where you say, okay, you want to be a part of, or you want to vote on what could be the next ETF, well, this is happening right now, basically. Like we are developing this feature or this product constantly, but in the end, we also need to need to stick to our values of really saying, okay, we want to protect investors and we want to have certain levels of security and assurance for the whole space. So if we did that, and I'm saying it's a big if, because again, I'm not I'm more on sales and business development side, but I guess if we did that, it would be with a big red exclamation mark saying, hey guys, be aware that this is super risky investment here.
Yeah, I just want to spread some insight. So Manu says he's on the sales team, but actually he's also in the team discussing the tokens that we put into ETF. And since I fully emphasize on what he said, we also said let's only in the beginning let's only take like a token from the top 200 list. And if you have a closer look onto the top 100 coins, you find a lot of meme coins there. So let's say if we stick to our rules, those could also end up in an ETF. But at the moment, or let's say many of them are on Ethereum or other chains that we don't support at the moment. So this was actually not enough to put one together, and I think it could be interesting, as you said, just putting 10 really like promising meme coins into an ETF and give it as a present to somebody could be interesting. But those projects, when they do like 1,000x or something like that, they are not in the top 1 or 200. And then we definitely have to say, okay, no, we put security over access, and then everything what Manu said is totally right, and we will stick to it. But maybe in the future there will be a possibility to customize it for yourself, and then feel free to do whatever you like.
No, I definitely understand your strategy. Maybe as time evolves and the platform evolves, and like you mentioned, getting the consensus sentiment from the community right through the voting, see what they want to do. But kind of like what Manu said there, it will be like a very solid, transparent, red exclamation mark, high risk label on there, right? For those degens investors out there for sure. But I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be really fun. Like I'm not gonna lie, I know exactly what you mean. Hitting those 1000x is hard, really hard. It's just like 1 in a million, right? It's probably yeah, it's like a lottery almost.
It's like a
But
lottery,
as
but I like the idea. So we will we will take the meme topic as well. So thank you for the input. But I think as Christian mentioned, if you really want to do that high risk, and in the end it is high risk, if you go for a project that just started and you have the feeling, okay, this could be something, and you want to put it in an ETF, well, you can do it probably in the future if you customize the ETF, but it will not be a standard proposal from CrowdSwap. So we will give you the means, we will give you the tools to do it, but we will probably not be the ones saying, okay, this is a project that started yesterday. Try to invest in the high risk ETF. So we will not be pushy for that, for sure.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Just
Now,
to
let's go back to the ETF. I want to talk about the fees really quick here. Right now, currently, I see that it's zero investment fee. How are you guys getting paid from the ETF? What is the fee are you guys taking?
So usually we have an investment fee from 0.3% going into the ETF, and when you leave the ETF, and that's everything that we get. Our whole business model is based on a fee structure, which is usually for swaps is 0.05 to 0.1, depends on what you're doing. But when it comes to investment processes, it's 0.3.
Okay, so it's 3%, correct? So 3%?
0.3%.
0.3. Okay. Okay, 0.3. So in America, that'll be like 30%. So 0.03. Or
No,
0.3, 0.03.
No, 0.003.
Okay, okay. When you say 0.3, okay. So 0.003. Okay. All right. That sounds good.
0.003. Yeah. That's I think that's the right format in the US, right?
Okay. I think it's 0.003. So I think that's actually very small. I think it's probably in the format in US, it would probably be like 0.03 or 3%, right? Like let's say just like in language term, would you say 3% or 3% of a 1%?
It's
I think it's
Because
3%
0.3,
of a 1%.
3% of the 1%, right? So it's less than 1%, correct?
Exactly,
yeah,
it's less than
it's less
1%.
than 1%. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay. So it's
if
probably
we would
3%
have
of a 1%.
taken, yeah, if we would have taken 30% as you proposed, then we wouldn't be there for two reasons probably. The first, we would have earned so much money that we are not in need of doing anything, or nobody used the platform because it was too expensive. So in any case, no, we are not taking 30%. It's 3% of 1%.
Okay, okay, that's perfect. All right, sounds good. I like that. I like that. So right now, guys, if you guys want to go into like the top 100, like Christian said there, but I can see it's all blue chip coins only. I mean, BTC, ETH, BNB, Matic, Link, AVAX. This is probably all top 20 coins, I believe, currently. Yeah, that's actually just fun. I love the NFT idea as a gift. Actually, I think that's a brilliant idea. As the space evolves, or it's a great way to like introduce your friends into the crypto space, right? Like onboard people. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be really fun. Actually, I never thought of that. Interesting stuff. All right, guys.
Actually,
What is next?
idea as well. To maybe also for a giveaway. Would be nice to put an ETF together.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great idea, actually. Yeah. Yeah, even like us. Now, you got me thinking of it for like USA Crypto Group. We do a lot of giveaways, right? And yeah, I think that's actually, I can see an angle of that, how we can make it more fun with like an NFT, an ETF NFT for our community. Like once a year, twice a year, something big, you know? I think that'd be, yeah, I definitely see the angle on that. That'd be a lot of fun, actually.
Very good. We already have a new business opportunity for everybody. No, that's
There you
nice.
go.
But I think now we spend a lot of time on talking about the ETF, which is nice, and it's a super cool feature and a very innovative proposition. But maybe it might also be a good idea, and I don't want to take your interviewing space away, Seattle. But you asked what should we talk about, and I think it could also be worthwhile talking about the Web3 integration, because CrowdSwap is not only doing the B2C, like the business to, or B2I, business to investors, but we are also active in a B2B space. And maybe Christian, that could also be an interesting topic, because it's also a little bit about how does CrowdSwap stretch beyond mere investments. As we are also working together with other decentralized projects, and helping them to become more Web3, but also with other centralized projects. And this is also something that we are working very hard on, because there is a big need in any space to also make use of the CrowdSwap, and again say the word, the CrowdSwap ecosystem. And in that respect, I think it could be worthwhile also mentioning that.
I like that. I like that. I think with every business like you guys, so we have been talking about how investor can benefit from your platform, but what Manu said B2B is business to business. So put in a sense, how can other businesses benefit from CrowdSwap as well? So that's actually very important for scalability, right? So so I think ultimately that's going to be, and as we go deeper into this, I want to tie it back, Christians or Manu. I mean, I'm pretty sure that this strategy for scalability with other business ultimately is going to tie back to your ecosystem, which also will benefit the investor in some way, correct?
Yeah, that's definitely correct. So you could spend a lot of time and budget on marketing, brand awareness, or you could also reach out to other projects to utilize the services that we built and hardened and secured to other players, which opens up the whole business model to other communities as well. And that's also the reason why we have a sales team that is actively networking, and in the past, maybe I don't want to talk about the details of all day work, but in the past we saw that centralized exchanges were not looking into their centralized spot and future business anymore, but also starting in the Web3 space, like Bybit or OKX did, and also Binance. And I've been to Dubai to Token 2049 in April, and had some very interesting talks with the guys from Web3 development with OKX and also Bybit. What they are actually doing there, and we are part of their Web3 strategy, and they might use our cross-chain aggregation service in their Web3 product in the future. And that's something that is definitely coming back to investors in the Crowd token and in CrowdSwap. After all, when we developed into a DAO, because then I think you can utilize the crowd token and also the share that you own even more, not only from a voting rights, but also from a let's say from a profitability.
Okay, so there are some use cases of the tokens as well. Okay, now Manuel, I know that we have some private chat as well. Now, and I know that we spoke on how other projects are able to utilize your exchange or your swap that can be very beneficial to them in their community. Is that what you were alluding there, Manu, to?
Yes. Thank you for bringing it up. Exactly. So you have to think that most of the projects out there are we are in a startup space, let's face it. And most of the projects out there, what they are focusing on is on developing their own business model. Be it, I don't know, a platform for employment, be it a real world asset tokenization, whatever, but they are building their environment. But what we realized is that a lot of those projects also are facing the topic of that they want to be multi-chain. So they want to have a token on Ethereum, they want to have a token on Binance Smart Chain, maybe they want to have a token on another chain as well. And that is one of the like Polygon and you name it. And it's that was one of the aspects where he said, hey, these guys should actually focus on their core business model. But what do they do right now? Because they feel the need of getting more investors and being more present, they are diverting their precious development efforts by building new solutions on different chains. Where we said, hey guys, hold on a minute. That's our core business model. So why not just approach these partners and offering them to make use of our cross-chain solution? And by that, by definition, using the CrowdSwap swap, the cross-chain swap, you're immediately cross-chain, because for the investor, it doesn't make any difference what starting token they have, as long as it's the supported chain. They can directly invest or swap towards the other project. And that's basically how the whole idea also sparked and set foot. And I think there is a lot of more topics where we said are there B2B opportunities, are via the Launchpad where we support starting projects. Other opportunities are our yield farming pools, where we basically offer projects to build a pool at a very low cost, because they only need a starting liquidity, and then investors are rewarded for adding liquidity to that pool, and then organically that pool is growing and growing. And thus it makes a lot of sense, because then the projects that work with CrowdSwap, they have an additional pool where they can, on the one hand side, be more present, but on the other hand side also earn again and have more visibility on the market. So there are various angles that we currently address, and that's the nice thing about being a solutions provider, which I sometimes coin CrowdSwap, because that's what we are. We are, for a B2B, from a B2B perspective, we are a partner that can enable you, dear project, to be fully cross-chain. And especially when we look at spaces in a more centralized world, for example, there has not been a lot of decentralized know-how. So also there we have opportunities to bring Web3 capabilities to a centralized world. And I think this is more the angle where we also had our talks on. And I think it's just very interesting, because on the one hand side, we really look at the investor and look what they want. So we have a product that is focused full on how do we take out the tediousness, the tedious work of investing. And this optimized product we can then offer to partners, and they can take the ready-made object and implement it. And that's how it works for us.
Very interesting. Now I have a two questions to follow up on what you just said there. Can a project just recently launched able to utilize your platform, or I guess do a partnership with you guys?
That's your question? If they can do that? Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
Okay.
Now,
basically, my second question is that now, can they somehow embed your swap on their website, or is that something that they have to go through your website only and through your app only on your site?
No, these projects can integrate our cross-chain aggregator within minutes, or let's say 5 lines of coding put into an HTML site or app. It's fairly easy to integrate it, as simple as using it, almost.
Okay, you know what? I think that's actually very beneficial here. You know, we do have a lot of developers that's listening to our AMA too. So what they're saying is, guys, that let's say if you thinking about launching a project, or you even have a project now that doesn't have a swap. Let's say if your project's on BNB right now, you're pretty much stuck with BNB, right? So you are able to list on their swap or utilize their swap, and it has an aggregator on top of that. So it's pretty much very convenient and efficient for your investors to use as well. So everything under one roof, and you're able to integrate that onto your platform, onto your website, if that's what you want as well. So I think it's a win-win for everyone.
That's what we are always looking for: win-win-win situations, like win for the project, win for us, and also win for the users and investors. If projects like to integrate it, they can also customize it to meet the corporate identity, of course, but also set the buy token definitely to their own, because that makes most sense, I think. And then investors can easily buy from all supported chains, which comes in very handy.
Okay. Okay, so let's say that a developer is listening right now, and they say, you know what, I have a BNB project right now, and if I was to integrate your CrowdSwap onto my website and ask my community member to use your swap, be on BNB chain currently, is there a significant price difference between your swap and using a BNB chain or a Pancake swap currently? Like, what's the difference as far as the fees goes?
The fees are the same, but the balances on liquidity pools can change. So PancakeSwap is definitely the biggest platform, but when it comes to finding the best routes and finding the best prices, it's all about balances of liquidity pools. And there are many DEXs on Binance Smart Chain, and if let's say the Pancake pool is very hard bought into one direction, then it could also be that on HSwap or Athena, there are definitely liquidity pools where you get better prices for your swap. And if you don't want to fall for those, let's say, higher prices, then an aggregator like CrowdSwap has an advantage for you.
Okay, yeah, very convenient, and they can their community. But one thing that's really differentiates you guys is that their community able to bridge from one token to one chain from the other chain, if they want to use it, without having the knowledge, or go look at YouTube or Google and trying to figure it out which bridge to use, etc. Now, you're not talking about the classic swap, right? You're talking about exchange that it will be integrating on their platform, correct?
Yeah, it's gonna be the exchange widget that that is going to be integrated, not the classic swap.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, very interesting stuff. I like to get actually more in depth on that, and maybe not on this AMA because I think there's a lot more technical questions that I want to ask. But I think overall that is actually very convenient for a project like Manu said there, right? Continue to build what you build, and this is your core business model. Let you guys take care of it. You guys pretty much providing a swap and an aggregator right out the gate for them and their community. So I think that business model is actually it's beneficial for everyone. And I assume that the project's also able to set the fees, whatever that it is a parameter that they can set, correct?
They can set their own fee on top
Okay.
of what we charge, as long as it works for them. We don't have any problem with it. Just wanted to say that I think in the decentralized space we should change from reinventing the wheel in every project once again, but more try to build like standards that can be used. In the Web2 space, there are so many standards that are used from a development point of view. I don't want to mention any, but it's much more usual or common for developers to use libraries. In the decentralized space, we are not there yet, and this is something that I think we should spend the time, as Manu said, on the core of the project, of each project, and utilize what other projects already built and build on top of that. And then more and more projects will be more successful.
Right. Okay, yeah, I think that's actually a great business model for you guys to scale, but also to earn uh, revenue, right? Not just within taxes like most of the projects do, but you guys able to find way to actually generate revenue. Now, the revenues that you guys would be generating from this program, uh, is that going back to the investor, to the native token, somehow, some way? Uh, if there is, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So the plan is to when the DAO phase is started, and the revenue, let's put it on the roadmap. Let's say we want to develop the project to a certain point where all of the products that we mentioned when we started the project are built. This does not mean that they are 100%, because I'm into development business for 20 years. I never saw a software being at 100%. So this is definitely ongoing development. But let's say after building the core functionality of CrowdSwap, which has to be this year, we will start the DAO phase. And in the DAO phase, the revenue stream is already it's written down in the white paper, also in the documentation when you go to tokenomics, that 70% will go into special staking opportunities for crowd holders. And for crowd holders, there's a VIP program. The more crowd you have, the longer you have them, and did not sell them, the more points you can earn in this VIP project, which offers you a greater share to let's say to the profits that CrowdSwap as a protocol does.
Okay. So ultimately, it goes back to the staking pool. Um, and so you guys will buy the token yourself and to give back to people that stake. Is that how it works? Is that what you were alluding to?
Doesn't have to be. So you mean from the revenue stream?
Yeah, because most of the projects, what's happening out there, I see is that as far as the staking pool go, they just mint token, right? They just print token and without having to buy the token. So eventually, it just keep on the supply keep on growing.
Mm,
And
no, we have a fixed supply, and of course we have also from the revenue stream we have a 10% buyback or burn token program, which we put into place once the DAO is there. And
nice.
from the staking products that we see for crowd holders, since our revenue is like a mixture of everything that is being swapped. So it could be BTC, mostly it's ETH and stables and the native token from all those chains. So it's a big variety of different cryptocurrencies, and we don't see the need to swap them into something else. So we will just push them into let's say the incentives for those staking opportunities, which are only available for crowd holders.
Very nice, very nice. I like that burn future. That's actually pretty much what I was asking, whether ultimately you have a burn future that to reduce the supply ultimately. So it looks like you guys do have the future there. I think that's going to be crucial because I think that's a great way because I'm looking at your program here. I think there are ways for me to, like, when I think about it, I think there are ways for you guys to really incentivize your community, especially your loyal holder, right? I mean, with your white glove program here, I'm not sure what the business model, but if I'm a loyal investor, so I feel like there's a burning mechanism, and somehow the revenue is kicking back to me as a holder or to the staking pool. I think I'll be incentivized to go out there, right? To look for these new projects to onboard into CrowdSwap, because I think with a program like this, it's about just awareness, right? Awareness. Hey, there's a project called CrowdSwap out there. They provide an aggregator. They provide swap. I mean, it's almost like a given. But maybe because I'm coming from the standpoint that we deal with a lot of projects, and I feel like I can, communicate with those projects. And most of the projects out there that I speak to usually are very new, and they want to add some sort of development onto their roadmap, right? But yeah, I think this is you guys have something that's I think can easily be sold out there.
Yeah, thank you very much. We think so too, and maybe I can add that we had in the past also burning programs, and also what we call long-term holder programs, because we started already some time ago, and most of our investors are very loyal from the beginning, and it's been a long time, and it's not common that investors stay for such a long time. So we put together a long-term holder competition where you get rewarded in even more crowd exposure when you're just holding on to it. And many people are, of course, now waiting for the DAO to be started to really see the value of this long-term holding of crowd. And this is definitely something that we are looking forward to. Yeah, I hope everything will come into place as we planned it.
Self-muted there. So where do you guys put your biggest focus right now? Is it the exchange? Is it the ETF? Is it the B2B side of it? Or is it everything at once?
Uh, yeah, somehow
I
you
know it's
could
a tough
say
question.
it's a tough question. So we are always focusing on the core the most, because when there is something that, as let's say for the cross-chain solution that we are working on right now, it's reaching out into all the other products as well. So we have to prioritize this, and but after we fixed, or let's not say fixed, developed this project and built the new USP, then we will dig deeper into the other products as well. But yeah, from our point of view, at least from the development, it's definitely the cross chain that we are prioritizing at the moment. Also, in the sales, it's a totally different story there. It's the B2B aspect of CrowdSwap, and in marketing, it's all about B2C. So you cannot say that that we only have one topic. We have many topics at the same time, but at different priorities.
And I think to add there also, because that question sometimes pops up when we do AMA, so we do sessions with our own community. It's like, when is CrowdSwap finished? And the truth is, CrowdSwap will never be finished. And I think that's a very powerful message, because it's not about being finished and then leaving a product as it is. Let's take a Lego brick. Okay, the Lego brick is done. You will never reinvent it. Well, no, also Lego is bringing out new Legos all the time, and that's how yeah, we want to evolve, basically. So you need to be in the space and move on and change, and also to be innovative of things. So when I say we will never be done with CrowdSwap, that is actually meant in a positive sense, that we say, okay, we are constantly on the lookout what is needed from the market, and where can CrowdSwap as the solutions provider jump in, because that's the strength of not having a physical product, but having a solution that is empowering the space to be more transparent, to take out tedious work, to be fast, to be the best price, and so on. And this is really where the focus also lies on, seeing what is the most important right now to get easy access to crypto and take out the difficulty from that space, at the same time being secure. And maybe this is more or less the most important aspect in all what we do.
Yeah, I see it. I definitely see it. Yeah, I think the business model is great, and I think you guys have something, that I think the space is could utilize for sure. Now, even with new developers that developing their projects, right, they just don't know where to begin. They may be looking to pay thousands of dollars just to have a swap, right? Just a regular basic swap that's not even an aggregator, right? Uh, so I think it can be very beneficial to a lot of developers out there. Yeah, I like it. I definitely like the business model. All right, so let's go into the next one. We have what you guys also have the wallet, right? And your portfolio. I think that's what's left that we have not touched on. I know we're running over an hour and a half now, but if you guys can touch on that really quick, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so from the portfolio manager, we always envisioned a very simple, let's say, like a portal or a terminal. That this is the first dialogue that you see, and from there you can start to send cryptocurrencies, to buy new ones, to sell some, to also have a look into yield farms and staking opportunities, maybe Launchpad. So actually, this portfolio manager should be the easiest access to the Web3 space, and we are still developing it. And in conjunction to, or let's say, if you connect a wallet, you can see all the different assets that you have in this wallet, and also everything that you invested on CrowdSwap will also be shown there, and will be shown with an actual dollar value. For ETF, you can directly see if your ETF position is in green or in the reds. And this is true for all chains. So if you just go into a wallet like MetaMask, you can only see the tokens that you imported and on the chain that you selected. But on the portfolio manager, we always wanted to have the overview of all tokens and all assets in all blockchains, because we make it easy to use all of them to invest into another chain. And in the future, we also have this vision of implementing chain abstraction. So just like a centralized exchange, that you don't have to cope with all the different blockchains. Maybe in the future, it's not necessary to know where you have your ETH, because the price of ETH, okay, there might be little arbitrage opportunities there, but more or less it's the same. If it's on Ethereum or Arbitrum or Optimism, you should just buy it wherever you get the best deal. And that's what we are envisioning for the portfolio manager, and also for the Crowd wallet, the smart wallet that we are developing at the moment. It will be the same. It will be directly integrated once you connect it, and compared to all the other wallets out there, it's much easier to create, because it doesn't come with a private key anymore, but you can secure it with mechanics that you already know from the Web2 space, like user and password and Google Authenticator or two-factor authentication. You could even be creative and need an NFT to authenticate. This is a different kind of wallet that's even more secure than what we have right now, and will be plugged into the portfolio manager just like any other wallet that is out there.
Yeah, that's actually very convenient, because we all have a problem, right? We like you said, we log into the chain, and you only know what you have in that chain, right? I've created some chains that I didn't even know I had money, to be honest with you, and I just found that out the other day.
That's a big problem.
So if you guys been in the space for a long time, that will be an issue right now. So what he's saying is that you log into MetaMask, and it will show you a balance of every single chain that you have in one place. So I think that's going to be very, very efficient and convenient, and you'll find some lost money that you didn't even know you had. So I found I had like $250 on I think it was like I forgot what chain it was, but yeah, it was a nice surprise. No, it was Pulse X, Pulse chain. Apparently, I bridged that over a long time ago when it first
I
came
had
out.
that too, my friend. I had that too, and I also forgot about it.
So yeah, it's a nice feature. They're very straightforward. So that's actually, I like that a lot. That's really cool. All right, so the next one you have is the wallet, right? Now the wallet is pretty simple, right? Just a wallet to hold your tokens. Or any other features that we need to know about?
Yeah, as I mentioned in the beginning, with this wallet you can say, okay, I have 5 Ethereum in my wallet, let's say on Arbitrum, and I want to approve these 5 Ethereum for CrowdSwap cross-chain transfers, and you can take it to transfer while I'm sleeping to Ethereum and Optimism and back. And the next morning, when you wake up, you find your 5 Ethereum on Optimism, for example, but in the meantime made some yield because you were providing liquidity. So from this 5 ETH might be 5.02 or 3, depends on how much volume we had. And that's definitely something that we cannot do with any other wallet easily. But with the smart wallet, it's definitely possible.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I think overall, I know you guys been around for a long time, and I've been talking to Manu for months now in the private chat, and just glad that you guys won the Eagles Den, and the community voted for you guys to come back, and I can see why. You know, prior to this, I did not look into your project in depth, but now that I every project that comes for an AMA, I like to look into the project in depth, and I definitely like everything that you guys are doing. Uh, I think it's a
Thank you
great
for
time.
saying. Likewise, that's also why we were so persistent in talking to you, because also we had the feeling that this is a very, very good group, a very, very solid community, and we're super happy to be here. So
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and also thanks to Jona, who was doing the elevator pitch in the Eagles Den.
Yeah, sounds good. So you know what? Because I do have a meeting at 2 o'clock, which is 20 minutes away. So we're gonna go ahead and just take a couple of questions here. So if you guys go into an investors hub, which is the room that we're in right now, and under the comment, and I'm gonna scroll up really quick here. I'm gonna grab a couple of questions here. And after this guy, I will pin that TG, and so you guys can go there and just give a meaningful feedback. Do not spam their room, and you can ask further questions there if you like. Okay, so this question here, I think it's good to recap because maybe a lot of investors here may be new to the space, etc. I know we have a lot of experienced investor here, but I think it's a good topic to touch on again. Very simple question. It says, can you explain what cross-chain investment mean in simple terms?
That's an easy question. Should I go for it? Because easy questions are better for me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, what a cross-chain investment basically means. It means for CrowdSwap that you can bridge one token, any token that you have, to another token of your desire on various chains. So let's give an example. You can take your BNB from Binance Smart Chain, and you say you want Ethereum, or you want ETH on Ethereum, and with CrowdSwap you can just select these, press on swap or exchange, and then the magic will happen, and in your wallet on the other chain you will have your Ethereum converted for your BNB. And this is our underlying mechanism that we use in all the products that we discussed today. So bridging tokens any to any in a fast and best price and secure way, that is basically our baseline. And on this, everything is built, be it a yield farming, be it a sale, be it any other product that you see. This is our underlying mechanism.
Set. Now, I know that we touched on a DAO, or you spoke about the DAO, but not in depth. So I'm going to go ahead and read off these questions here. What role does community governance play in CrowdSwap's development, and how can token holders influence decision-making processes?
So at the moment we are always in talk with our community, having AMAs frequently, so everybody can be part of it. When the DAO phases started, we will switch from, let's say, the official CrowdSwap roadmap to a proposal driven approach, and these proposals can be done by everybody. Of course, you have to have a certain degree of quality in your proposal, and then there will be a voting process. And if the community votes for the proposal will be developed by the development team. And we didn't decide on opening let's say, the development team to everybody, but definitely everybody who is holding crowd will get voting rights and can, first of all, vote. Secondly, can also be hold a position in the DAO, because you can delegate your votes to somebody who likes to do all the reading of the proposals and make up their mind, research something what would be good for CrowdSwap to do, and then vote with higher voting power. And some people like that even better, to have somebody who's more involved into the space and has more time to make educated decisions. But yeah, when the DAO is put into place, as a crowd holder, you have your voting rights. You can delegate and also vote on proposals for and against.
Thanks for the answer there, Christian. Now I know that we touch on the B2B side of it for scalability, but I think this is a good question for every project out there, or for every business out there. So let's just emphasize this again for them really quick here. So the question is, how do you plan to scale and achieve adoption?
Well, maybe I start, and Christian, if you want to add anything, feel free. So basically, and I think we said it in this AMA session, our success is our partner's success, especially in the B2B area, where it's all about building bridges. And I'm not just talking about cross-chain bridges, but I'm saying working together in that space will advance that space. And we heard it when Christian said in the regular development, in the physical development world where we all come from, they are relying on libraries, or basically ready-made code to build on that code and expand ecosystems and not build everything from scratch, because we don't need to reinvent the wheel all the time in crypto. But we should work together, projects, blockchains, and so on, to advance that space and also to face all the hurdles. And I think one of the biggest hurdles that we have out there is that it's super tedious for somebody new in that space to get to know their way around. And that is true for a fresh investor, but that's also true for projects that are either just starting or that are already in that space but don't know how to easily get, for example, cross-chain. And that's exactly how CrowdSwap could come in as a partner, by saying, hey, we have a ready-made algorithm that you can use, and it's actually ready to use. It's a plug-and-play solution, and that way, of course, CrowdSwap gets more expenditure, right? We spread, but also the project that is building and using CrowdSwap also spreads. So in that sense, we are building a win-win-win situation. I think that was also coined during the AMA today. Win for the project that is our partner, win for the investor that can then invest into that project from anywhere where they come from, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, etc. And of course, win for CrowdSwap, because we get more reach, we get more revenue, and altogether, this is the way to go forward.
Well said. All right,
I think.
Oh, go ahead, Christian.
I think Manu captured it quite well. I just wanted to add that we are scaling on different aspects and also departments of CrowdSwap. Manu touched more on the B2B side, but also on the B2C side. So when we approached the bear market, we were hardly spending any budget on marketing, because from the cycles before that I have not been as a co-founder or CEO of a project. It didn't make sense to do any marketing. We always had a roadmap for marketing to start after the halving, which happened last month. And this is also something that we are scaling at the moment. And based on the development, as I said, the priority is on developing the cross-chain functionality, which for us is also for the B2B team is a big advantage, and we can scale even better, integrating more chains. And this puts us definitely on a different spot compared to let's say 6 months ago.
Thanks for the answer there, guys. Okay, I have a tough question here. This guy's a little tough, but we do not shy away any questions. We're gonna face it straight on. So, given the impressive features, innovations, and high quality product that CrowdSwap has developed so far, one would actually expect that its popularity would explode, at least in the German-speaking region. Why hasn't that happened yet?
I think it's somehow based on what I said before. We are in the space already for 2 years and more, and we had let's say when we started, the crypto was still at the highs, but falling apart already, starting a bear market, and we did a great funding. Also, the token was performing like, I would say, every new project had its highs. We had several features coming up where the token price spiked. But when you go through a bear market, definitely everybody's turning their back on crypto. It's like every cycle is the same, and we are we were developing throughout the bear market, which is I think what projects have to do to come out even stronger. And if I compare CrowdSwap to what it has been after 1 year, I can definitely say that we were not lazy. We built many things, but yeah, it has to come to fruition, and that's why we are very happy to be here in this AMA, sharing what we have. Everybody can come to have a look at the platform to see if what we said is really already in place. We are not shy to also get the feedback from everybody. It's quite the opposite. We really want your feedback to improve the platform even more. And then I'm pretty confident that also the projects get to be known and used much more. And this will definitely also result in different token price and also profitability of the platform.
Awesome. Well answered. All right, guys. Well, I think that wraps up. I see a lot of questions there, but I think most of the questions have been answered through the AMA already. But if I miss anything, we're going to pin their TG. Make sure you guys join their TG, and maybe Mike or Johnny go there, pick a $10 win over there. Okay, join their TG, give a meaningful feedback about the AMA, and if you have further questions, ask your questions over there. Christian, Manu, that was a very elaborated AMA, very detailed. I definitely like your whole ecosystem. I think you guys doing some good over there. I'm actually kind of really surprised that it's only at 2 million market cap, because we've done some projects, so the market cap was a lot higher. Very similar, but not exact to yours. What you guys are doing, and the market cap is a lot higher than where you guys are at right now. So I think the project has a lot of potential. Not financial advice. Thank you so much. I do really have to go, but after this, guys, when I open the room, that's just for fun, 1 to 200. We still have 163 listeners right now. 1 to 200. Okay, 5 guesses only, and you guys get a chance to win $10 randomly. Christian, Manuel, if you guys don't mind, if you guys can just scroll through here, we usually give a winner to a listener, a $15 winner. If you guys just pick one, so that way it's not coming from me. Just randomly pick a name to give.
Okay, Manu will do it.
Perfect, awesome. If you can grab that username, Manu or Christian, and just DM me, brother. That'd be really appreciated. So that way I
will.
Perfect. All right, Christian, Manuel, that was a very detailed AMA. I thought you guys did a great job articulating your platform. Is there a last word you want to leave the community with?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for all those questions. I think it has been a long AMA. So also thank you very much to everybody who listened the whole time. Really appreciate it, and it has been a lot of fun. I hope we can do it once again, maybe if we have some cool updates for you guys. Thank you very much.
I can only join into what Christian just said. Thank you also from my side. It was really a pleasure being here. You're a fun group. I saw it myself, and also thank you, Seattle, for being an amazing host tonight, or today. For you, it's day. For us, it's night. So it was really a pleasure being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You know, one last thing, Manu. You know who GPS is? Or yeah, GPS. GSP. He's a UFC fighter from Canada. You happen to know who he is?
Who? Tell me.
George St. Pierre. I swear to God, man, you sound exactly like him. When I first heard your voice, I was like, "Is this GSP?" One of my favorite fighters the whole time. You sound exactly like him. GSP, look him up. Yeah, look him up. UFC fighter. One of the best ever to do it. You sound 100% like him. Because I used to watch all his interview and all that. I used to follow him like crazy. And yeah, I thought you were him for a second there. I got excited.
I need to see if I can make some money out of that. I didn't know that, but thanks for telling me.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate your time. Thank you, guys. I really have to bounce, but yeah, 1 to 200. Okay, when I open up the room, and good luck. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.